So today we are going to discuss about power. So what is power in mathematics? For example, when you have, an expression like, for example, 2 times 2. So instead of writing like this, 2 multiplied by 2 or, 2 times 2, yeah, like that, you can write this also as 2 and then put like a small number here at the top, yeah, 2. So this number here simply tells us you have to multiply yeah, the same number with the same number. So 2 times 2. So for example, if you have 3 to the power of 2, yeah?
3 times 2.
No.
No.
So this becomes 3 times 3.
Oh, so it's always the same number.
Yes.
As the first one. Okay.
Yes. Now when you have, for example, 5 to the power of 2, what's that?
That is 5. 5 times 5.
Okay, so what's the value?
25.
25. Yeah, so now you need, you see the meaning of this notation when you have a number at the top like this, yeah? That simply tells us you multiplied with the same number twice in this case, yeah? Okay, now what about if you have, for example, minus 2. Now in this case, if we have a negative, I will have to put a bracket, but I still have the power of 2. So what's that?
Negative 2 times 2.
No, this is actually the same. Negative 2 times negative 2.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you exactly multiply with the same number here. So what is negative 2 times negative 2?
Negative 2.
So what is negative times negative?
Negative times negative is
Yeah. So okay, if you have plus times plus, what does it give you?
What? Plus times plus is plus.
Yes.
So minus times minus is plus.
Plus also.
Yeah. And minus plus
yes.
plus is minus.
That's the other.
Plus minus. Plus.
So in this case, when you have negative times negative, it will give you a positive.
Yeah, positive 4.
Positive 4, or simply just write down 4. Okay. Now what about minus 3 to the power of 2?
Equals 9.
Yeah, so this is simply minus 3 times what?
Times 2, negative 3.
Negative 3 also, and that gives you plus 9 or 9, right? So, well, when you have like to the power of 2 like this, you can also say minus 3 square. You know, this one minus 2 square.
So
5 square.
Like so like for example, so if you have that little 2 up there, that means just multiply the number with itself.
Yes, with the same number. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so now if I have, for example, 2 to the power of 3.
2 to the power of 3 is
what do you think we will have?
6.
No. So
4.
look, the meaning of 2 to the power of 3 now, it's like this. That means you have 2 and then you multiply another 2 and then you multiply another 2.
So the little number determines how much you multiply.
How many? Yeah, how many? The same number you multiply here.
Yeah, that was right. 6.
No, what is 2 times 2 times 2?
No, 8.
8. Okay. So what about 3 to the power of 3?
That is 27.
How did you get that number?
3 times 3 equals 9. 9 times 3 equals 27.
Okay, so first that's correct. But look, of course, you know that the meaning of 3 to the power of 3 here is 3 times 3 times 3, yeah? And then what you do here is 3 times 3, that gives you 9, and then multiplied by 3, and that's 27. What about 4 to the power of 3?
Aku cuci aja apa kan jemur di dalam.
Okay.
Ya.
4 to the power of 3.
4 to the power of 3 is
So what does it give us?
48.
No, wait a second. So what's the meaning for to the power of 3?
4 times by 4 3 times.
Yeah. Now let's do this
4
carefully.
times 4 16. But 16 times 4 is
yeah, you can use pencil. So 4 times 4, 16, and 16 multiplied by 4.
I'm just going to start off with 11 times 4, which equals 44. Plus 4, that's 12. And that's 3. And then 64.
64. So, you know, when you have this kind of calculation, what you did, the first calculation was, okay, so 16 multiplied by 4. Now, when you look at this one, what is 16 times 4? Actually, you can split it. So basically, you can do like the 16 times 2.
Half and double. 8 times, like.
So what was that? 16 times 2.
Like, this is what this is something I learned at school. You can halve this to 8 and double that to 8. So 8 times 8.
8 times 8.
It still gives you the same answer.
That is also correct. So you can divide 16 with 2, that gives you 8. And as you said, basically you will multiply this by 2 and that gives you 8. So 8 times 8 is 64. Now the other way that you can do when you have 16 times 4, actually you can split it into smaller parts. So for example, what is 16 times 2 first? What is 16 times 2?
32.
32. Now what you do with this, you have to multiply this with another 2, because you see 4 is made from 2 times 2. Okay, so in this case 32 times 2, 64. Okay, yeah, so that's, now one more time, what about 5 to the power of 3?
That is 75.
No.
Oh, wait.
So look, when you learn this for the first time, it's better to write them.
It's 125.
Yes, it's better to split them. I mean, expand it into, you know, the multiplication 5 times 5 times 5, right? And then what you do, you have to multiply this, you know, 5 times 5 give you 25, and then you multiply with 95, and that gives us 125. Okay. Now, this one will be a bit tricky. So, you know what the power of 3 means, yeah? So what about this one? Minus 2 to the power of 3.
That is -8.
Very good, very good. Actually, that's the right answer. So this means -2 times -2 times -2. And then when you multiply this -2 and -2, that give you 4.
Yeah,
And then you
times with
multiply with
another
-2.
is -8.
So that's -8 because you have a plus times minus. There is minus. Now, what about -3 to the power of 3?
-3 to the power of 3 is -27.
Yes. Yeah, that's -3 times -3 times -3. Okay. So why why this power, a power is important thing in mathematics?
So you don't have to like keep on like. So you don't have to like keep on writing. For example, -3 times -3
Yes.
times -3.
Yes. That's correct. But also, you know, actually, in mathematics, there are a lot of things that involve power. For example, have you learned about the two-dimensional shape in the school?
Yes, we've learned about shapes.
So let's say you have a square.
Squared, like square.
Yeah, you have a square. Now, have you learned how to calculate the area of a square? For example, if you have a square that has a side equal to 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters here, what is the area?
The area is 8 centimeters.
Oh no! So how do you calculate the area?
What?
Yes.
So basically do 2 times 2.
Yes, 2 times 2.
4.
And that gives you 4. And this 2 times 2 is an example of the square. So basically the area of a square, yeah, two-dimensional shape named square, is just the square of its sides. Yeah, the square of its side, right? Now, what's the another example? So, for example,
You could have just put 1 2 centimeter because the square sides are always equal.
Yeah. Now, if I have a three-dimensional shape named cube, yeah, like a Rubik's cube. Yes. And then, for example, so have you learned about the three-dimensional shape also?
No, but I kind of get how this one works.
Okay, so for example, now if you have a cube and then the side of it equal to 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, and then 2 centimeters. With the three-dimensional shape, what we are going to find is actually
24 centimeters. Is that the area?
Well, actually, yeah, that's correct. But what I'm going to ask you is not the area. Although we can calculate the area of the surface of the cube, but what I'm going to ask you is actually the volume. Now, have you learned about volume in school?
A little bit.
A little bit. So you see, if you have a cube that has a side equal to 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter, therefore
6 square centimeters.
The volume, no, what you do is just multiply those sides 2 times 2 times 2.
Oh, okay. 8.
So you see, this is just multiplying the
8
sides here, and that give you 8. Or you know, you can get this number by doing 2 to the power of 3, right? Yeah, 2 to the power of 3. So let's do a bit bigger, yeah? What about 2 to the power of 4.
2 to the power of 4 is 16.
Very good. 2 to the power of 5.
2 to the power of 5 is 32.
32. 2 to the power of 6.
It's going to be 64.
64.
You just keep on doubling.
Yes. So, you know, when you learn about power, yeah, there are some other useful things that you can do with it, okay?
Okay.
So the first one is when you have, you know, like 3-dimensional shape or 2-dimensional shape, yeah. Sometimes you see like the area or the volume will involve by doing some powers for the side of it, yeah. And now what I want to tell you here, the other useful thing when you know about power, yeah. So for example, if you want to break down very big number into some multiplication, yeah, actually what happens is you can also put some power with the smaller numbers. For example, you know, if you have a number, say 1,000, now this is simply equal to 10 times 10 times 10, right? If you have 1,000, it is 10 times 10 times 10, right? So how can you write down this in terms of power?
10 to the power of 3.
Very good. Because you have 10 times
3
10.
tens.
Yeah. And then you multiply them, yeah? Okay. Now,
how do you do this with addition? Is it able to be done with addition?
No, actually, power only
multiplication
with
and
the
division.
multiplication, yeah. But yeah, let's not worry with the division first at the moment, okay? Now, what about if you have, for example, 16?
16 equals 4 to the power of 4.
4 to the power of what?
4.
Look, if you have 4 to the power of 4, yeah, 4 to the power of 4.
And 4 to the power of 4 to the power of.
What does it mean? 4 to the power of 4?
No, it's actually 4 to the power of 3, actually.
Sorry, what's that?
4 to the power of 3.
Okay, now let me ask you, what is 4 to the power of 3 means, yeah? So what is this 4 to the power of 3?
4 to the power of 3 is 4 times.
4 times 4, okay. So you know now it's not. 4 to the power of 3 is simply 4 times 4, and that gives you what?
That gives you wait.
We have done this before.
Not like, okay. 64.
Yes, it was 64. Now, what do you think with 16? 4 to the power of what?
4, no, it's not, wait. 4 to the power of 2.
Yeah, 4 to the power of 2, that's correct. Because, you know, 4 to the power of 2 is simply 4 times 4. Yeah. Now, can you find another expression that gives you 16? So there's also something
8 to the power of 2.
No,
oh, wait,
you
no.
know, 8 to the power of 2, you see, it is 8 times 8.
60.
And that's 64. Now, is there any other power that gives you 16? So what is another possibility?
Another like explanation for 16.
No, actually, if you remember what we have done before, yeah, 16 is also 2 to the power of something.
2 to the power of
So let's start with 2 to the power of 2. What is 2 to the power of 2?
2 to the power of 2 is 4.
Okay, now to the power of 3?
2 to the power of 3 is 8.
8. Now let's do one more. What about 2 to the power of 4?
2 to the power of 4 is 16.
16.
Oh yeah.
So
It's just
actually,
the other way around.
well, that's actually the coincidence, but it's not always like that, okay? Yeah. 2 to the power of 4 gives us 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? Which is also 16. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there are some numbers, of course, that you can express in terms of power, and that gives you several options. Like this one, for example, 16 equals to 4 to the power of 2, and then also 2 to the power of 4. Yeah. Now let me give you another example, and this is the last one. Okay, now what about 81? Can you think any number and then you put a power to it?
9 to the power of 9.
9 to the power of what?
9.
No, you know, if you have 9 to the power of 9, that will be very big number, because that means 9 times 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 9. 9 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is actually a very big number. You can calculate this value later using calculator. Yeah?
9 times 9.
9 to the power of what?
2.
2. Because 9 to the power of 2, it's simply 9 times 9. So I see now the thing that confuses you. When you have 9 times 9, yeah? Look, when you have 9 times 9, that's not actually 9 to the power of 9, okay? So be careful. This 9 times 9, or you have double 9 here, that is actually 9 to the power of 2, right? Now, is there any possibility that you give power to something and that gives you 81?
Another possibility.
Mm-hmm. What about 3?
Okay. If that's 9 times 9, then it's gonna be so if that's 9 times 9, I basically got to multiply it like by 3 or something.
No, what I'm saying is, so if you have, say, 3 to the power of 2,
27.
what's that?
Wait, I think I've got one. 27 to the power of 3.
No, you know, 27 to the power of 3, it is, yeah, 27 to the power of 3, it is 27 times 27 times 27. And that is a very big number. Yeah, when you have 27 times 27 times 27, you know what, when you multiply them, yeah, see what we get here. 27 times 27 times 27, that is 19,683. So that's not 81.
Okay.
So actually you are in the right direction, but here comes again the confusion part when you have 27. Now what happened is, okay, let's start with the smaller one, 3 to the power of 2.
3 to the power of
3 to the
2.
power of 2 equals to what?
3 to the power of 2 is equal to 9.
Okay. What about now 3 to the power of 3?
3 to the power of 3 is 3 to the power of 3 is now 27.
Okay, so that is 27. Actually, I know what you were thinking before, because when you go 81, actually that is from 27 times 3. Yeah. And now when you continue 3 to the power of 4 here.
3 to the power of 4 is 81.
Okay, that's correct. So what is the meaning of 3 to the power of 4?
3 to the power of 4. So this is how I do it. So I have this. I multiply by the number here. I make 27. Now I multiply this by
Another 3. So you see, look, we have to remember the definition of this power. If you have 3 to the power of 4, that simply gives us 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Yeah, that is the meaning of 3 to the power of 4. You have 3, 4 times here, like 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So what is this 3 times 3 times 3 times 3? You know, when you have 3 times 3 give you 9, and then another 3 give you 27, and then when you multiply by another 3 give you 81, right? So you see what happens is actually 81 can also be 3 to the power of 4.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is actually very interesting, because you know now if you have a number in mathematics that can be expressed in terms of multiplication, and that can give you many possibilities. Okay, so I think I'll stop here. Yeah, and the important thing here is just to give you an introduction about what power is. Yeah, so you know now you see, if you have a number and then you put a power to it, yeah, that simply multiplied with the same number. For example, 2 to the power of 2, that gives you 2 times 2, or 3 to the power of 2, that gives you 3 times 3. Okay, remember, 3 to the power of 2 is not
3 times 2.
3 times 2. Yeah, so this is not correct. Okay, so I guess that's for today, and we will have some practice after this. Yeah.
Okay.